Hello everyone, my name is Marcus Navarro and I'm doing my project on Fallout. So what is Fallout? Fallout is a role-playing video game that was initially published in 1997 and the newest installment just came out in 2015. So as you can see on the side, there are a series of main titles, Fallout 1 through Fallout 4, as well as Fallout New Vegas. There's also a series of side video games, as well as apps, and there's even a board game that is based off of the Fallout series. So the story of Fallout. The civilization of Fallout is largely based off of our own. There is just one major deviation that occurs somewhere after World War II, and during this period, the civilization in Fallout is able to have great technological advancements, while their social and cultural advancements kind of come to a standstill. So examples of this technology is stuff like weapons, like being running purely on microfusion cells instead of the gunpowder that we have currently, as well as folks being able to like transport their brains into that of a robot and still survive. So all of this technology requires a lot of resources, and that is what results in the Great War of 2077, when several nations essentially fight about who can have the resources that are slowly starting to disappear in the world. So this results in a nuclear fallout after the different nations essentially bomb each other with nuclear weapons for a series of 2 hours, I believe. So there are some folks that are able to survive by retreating to underground vaults, but it has a very devastating effect on the world and the environment. Like it essentially leaves the world in an almost uninhabitable condition. Like for example, there aren't very many green areas in the world anymore, and there are many animals that are affected by this as well. So, as I mentioned earlier, their culture and social society kind of comes to a stop. So the song that's playing right now is an example of songs that are often found within the Fallout universe. So this one is one of the main songs found in Fallout 3, and it was first released, I believe, in the 1930s, so it definitely has that old sort of vibe to it. And the images you see here are taken directly from the Fallout game. So the one on the bottom is a picture of the typical living room that you would find in anywhere in the United States during 2077 when the bomb fell. So you can see how even like years in the future, like they still have this older, early 1900s, 1950s sort of vibe going on. So in Fallout, they definitely go for a real world, realistic sort of feel. So within the game, there are several locations that you can visit that you could visit in our world if you wanted to. So examples are places in Southern California, Washington D.C., Las Vegas, and even Boston, Massachusetts. So in the following slides, there are going to be side-by-side comparison pictures of what these different areas look like in Fallout compared to what they look like in our world. So the first one here is the Washington Monument, located in Washington, D.C. So the one on the left, you can see is definitely pretty beat up from the bombings and just like all the years of decay. And the one on the right is how it looks in our world. So this next one is the Capitol building. The one in the corner is the one in the video game, and then the bigger scale picture is what it looks like in real life. Definitely a lot more pristine. And this last one is the Massachusetts State House, which is located in Boston, D.C. Boston, Massachusetts, and can be found in the Fallout 4 video game. So overall, the Fallout series as a whole has received very positive reviews. The graph that you see here is reviews for the newest installment, Fallout 4. So the highest review is given by Polygon and IGN, which is 9.5 out of 10. And then the lowest one is given by Destructoid, which is a 7.5 out of 10, which is still a pretty favorable review. So overall, in my opinion, Fallout is a very good video game. It's one of my favorite series. I've been playing it for a long time, and overall it's definitely one of the bigger games that are out right now, one of the games that people pay kind of most attention to right now. And hopefully there will be more video games in the series. And yeah, so I hope you learned something about Fallout, and if you didn't know anything about it beforehand, I hope this encourages you to maybe check it out in the future.